This next series is going to be on the topic of sensitivity. This topic is a big one for me because I'm somebody who's deeply sensitive, and I feel instant connection with other people who are deeply sensitive, and I have a great level of empathy and compassion, right? But I also know the dark side of sensitivity, right? When we are extremely overwhelmed by emotions, when we have no, emotional regulation skills, and we don't know how to handle the overstimulation and dysregulation that comes with not knowing how to manage that sensitivity, right? Especially if we're in environments that don't support that, right? We already live in a society that does not award sensitivity, right? You got to be tough, you got to be able to tolerate anything and everything, you got to be logical. There's just not a lot of compassion for people who are sensitive. And what does that mean? What does it mean to be sensitive? People automatically assume like, oh, you just take everything personally, or everything affects you. And that's not always the case, but it has been the case for me in the past, and I feel like I've grown a long way, and it doesn't have to be the bane of your existence. So somebody who's very sensitive, stay tuned. I have a couple videos coming up where we're going to talk about what it means to be sensitive, how to gain those regulation skills, how to deal with people who are on the opposite end of that spectrum, right? A lot of us have learned to repress those emotions. We've learned how to shrink ourselves. We've learned how to cope in a world that just doesn't support us, right? But the goal is not to become less sensitive, right? The world that we live in right now needs more sensitivity, needs people who feel deeply, needs people who are aware of things that others might not be aware of, right? There's a certain level of responsibility and accountability that comes with being a sensitive human being. So what does it mean to be sensitive? We process more. Like, while some people process one thing at a time, right? Somebody's talking to you, you're processing their words. Somebody's talking to me, I'm processing their tone, I'm processing their nonverbal, I'm processing what's happening in between the lines. There's multiple things I'm processing at once. I'm also processing what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, and before I speak, I'm processing how the other person might react, how the other person might feel. So it's like this continuous multi-process type of thing, right?